Hey there, Coastal Bend. It's meteorologist Carly Smith. Are you ready for the cold front? We've got scattered thunderstorms that will move through the area anytime between 5 p.m. and 2 a.m. We've got a north wind shift with gusts around 20 to 30 miles per hour. That'll be after 7 p.m. and then it's not much cooler. I think everyone is aware that cold fronts this time of year don't make a big impact on our temperature, but our morning low may be in the 60s, possibly for the first time since May 18th. Hey there, Coastal Bend. It's meteorologist Carly Smith. This is your live weather update. The time now is 10:55. This is a little later than I try to do it. We will talk about Hurricane Helene. Helene is now a hurricane as it's beginning to enter the Gulf of Mexico, but we're also focusing on the cold front and what that means locally for us here in the Coastal Bend. And so there is a risk of severe weather. This is a marginal, very low risk of severe weather. The greatest risk will be some wind that may come along with some thunderstorms that I mentioned could develop or will develop along this boundary as they move through from the north to the south. So these storms will be moving from the north to the south. So we'll start with them in Live Oak County and they'll drift south throughout the night. This is part of a greater area of thunderstorms with that front kind of, or that low pressure, that upper level low kind of fueling a lot of that. Additionally, especially as we head into Thursday, the severe weather risk ramps up over Florida and then across the Carolinas and the East Coast due to Helene. Very powerful hurricane expected at landfall, potentially devastating impacts there for the Big Bend region of Florida. But first, let's go back. Here's our future cast. So breaking down, it's going to be hot and sunny until the front arrives. This latest timeline is a little bit later than I originally anticipated, so we may not have thunderstorms in Corpus Christi till closer to 8 o'clock. So you see that here, thunderstorms, now that it's paused, anywhere from Refugio down through Sinton, Corpus Christi, Robstown, Alice, Freer. They're around 8 p.m. this evening. Now, this is a model. This is not going to be exact, but we are anticipating kind of a cluster of thunderstorms to develop along the boundary, and then they're going to drift south. By midnight, we're clearing conditions out and we'll start to see our skies clearing and our dew points dropping. That is going to be the best thing about this boundary. For now, we're sunny. We're going to be hot and humid. It's 84 degrees right now. Feels like it's 96. And we'll have our feels like temperatures right around 105. Our chance of rain mostly for our northern counties. So that will be in Live Oak County. Starts to go up around 4 p.m. We have about a 50% chance into Nueces County by 6 p.m. 6:30, it's Run Club, the downtown Corpus Christi Run Club. There is a chance for some thunderstorms. I think it'll be in Corpus Christi closer to between the hours of 7 and 8 o'clock, more so than 6 o'clock. But that is something to keep in mind if you have any outdoor plans this evening. We've got the storms. Wind will also pick up. The greatest risk with these thunderstorms for any potential damage is going to be a chance of lightning, and then additionally we have got some strong wind. You'll see here the wind is going to come in behind the line of storms, or more of a sustained increase in the wind. I don't think our sustained wind will get over 20 miles per hour, but gusts will be 20 to 30 miles per hour. And that's going to continue overnight Thursday and overnight Wednesday and into Thursday morning. By Friday night, we're looking at calm conditions heading back into the area. Now, the combination of this cold front and then additionally hurricane swell rippling across the Gulf of Mexico is going to increase our rip current risk and our coastal flooding risk. So minor coastal flooding and a rip current risk is elevated Thursday through Sunday. So you have a weather impact in place for that. Use caution in our local water, y'all. It can be dangerous very quickly if you don't know what you're getting yourself into. We are looking at northwest winds actually right now. The winds will be kind of light and variable. Once that front starts to dig south, we'll initially see a southeast wind, and then that will shift northeast behind the front later on this afternoon. 2-foot waves out there right now. When we zoom out, we do see the current conditions from Hurricane Helene. I can't see on this screen. I think that's just 13-foot swells showing up there in the Western Caribbean. Category 1 hurricane right there near kind of the Yucatan Peninsula. it is expected to strengthen once it gets into the open, warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, rapid intensification. So the front, specifically, Brandy, for Corpus Christi, I think will be after 7 o'clock, so anytime between 7 and 8. We see a chance of storms. Really a wider range would be 6 to 9, but I think it'll be closer to 7, 8 o'clock for Corpus Christi. And then Beeville could see some storms as early as 4 o'clock. I think it will be a little bit later than that, but 4 o'clock would be the earliest timeline for the front, and midnight would be the latest timeline. So again, Hurricane Helene, Category 1 hurricane now. We will see our waves increasing. I'm not anticipating huge waves, but 2 to 4 foot waves with long periods. We're talking 8 to 11 seconds. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even Sunday, still kind of a bit of a long period. That increases our rip current risk. It just allows for cleaner conditions in the water, so the rip current can be stronger. Additionally, with our northerly winds, we can get a bit of some coastal flooding enhanced by the northerly winds going down the coastline as well. So here's the latest on Hurricane Helene, Category 1 hurricane. I can't emphasize enough that this is going to be one that causes damage to Florida. It will not be good. We are talking 80-mile-per-hour winds right now, gusts already up to 100 miles per hour, rapid intensification expected as it makes its way into the Gulf of Mexico. A powerful Category 3 major hurricane. Current forecast is for 125-mile-per-hour winds at landfall there east of Panama City. Panama City will be, at this point, on the cleaner side of the storm. Tampa on the dirty side of the storm, not under the direct impact of landfall, but storm surge could still be pretty high in the Tampa area. We're talking up to 8 foot of storm surge is possible with the way these winds are setting up. So not good across much of the Gulf Coast there of Florida. I wanted to show the wider range of the cone before we got out of it. You see the updated hurricane warnings and tropical storm warnings and tropical storm watch colors. We've updated those colors. Additionally, they go inland now. So the National Hurricane Center is making sure we're alerting people well inland that we could still be dealing with hurricane force winds into southern Georgia with this storm, tropical storm force winds possible into northern Georgia and portion of the Carolinas. That's on top of the flooding risk that's going to come along with the heavy rainfall in that area. Here's the storm surge forecast, 10 to 15 feet. Now, storm surge is historically the #1 killer associated with hurricanes. I think we're all aware of that. So when we see 10 to 15 feet, we're evacuating, right? Even 6 to 10 foot, 4 to 8 foot, depending on where your home is, you got to make those considerations as well. Thankfully, this is not hitting us, but it is good to think about what are your preps. You know, if this was hitting us, what would you be doing? It's never bad to take that into consideration and just be prepared, you know. But with that being said, historically, storm surge has been the #1 tropical cyclone-related fatality. But over the last 10 years, rip currents have surpassed storm surge with the number of fatalities. So that's why we are really emphasizing that our rip current risk is going to be high because of the ripple effect. Those rip current deaths happen hundreds of miles away from the center of the storm because of the wave action that it turns up and the dangerous rip currents that set up because of that. It's waves that we're not used to around here, current set up like we're not used to, and it can quickly become dangerous. So dangerous rip currents, waves 2 to 4 foot every 8 to 11 seconds. That's really possible Thursday through Sunday. Waves more so Thursday through Saturday. Rip current risk continues through Sunday. Coastal flooding possible through Sunday. There's your high tide times for Bob Hall Pier and North Beach. I don't think North Beach's high tide will necessarily cause coastal flooding, but limited beach is going to be possible. Just keep that in mind in both locations. Camping, I wouldn't advise it. High tide is overnight, so it could quickly come up out of nowhere. We could get a row kind of larger swell that rolls up as well. So overnight conditions are not going to be ideal on our Gulf-facing beaches. Here's one more look at the cold front moving through. There it goes. So we will see thunderstorms developing along the front. It's not a guarantee that you see a storm, but it is a guarantee that we're going to get the dry air that comes in behind the storm. So the dry air wraps around the low pressure system, the upper level low, but additionally what we're going to see is Helene kind of merge with that low. We stay on the dry side of this. High pressure sets up over the Four Corners area. We stay dry well into next week. Now our heat index values do slowly go back up. We'll see the moisture returning, but we are talking our heat index value about our air temperature tomorrow. And that, my friends, is going to feel so fabulous. I am looking forward to tomorrow so much. It will be a little windy tomorrow. Winds out of the north-northeast, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, I think, might end up being the better day in terms of lighter wind, better surf. I'm excited for Friday, y'all. Friday's also the blitz. We could have temperatures falling into the 70s during those football games with a low overnight in the 60s Friday morning and Saturday morning. Sunshine throughout the weekend, so if you're an outdoor lover like myself, soak it up, enjoy it. This is all I have for the live update. I'll look at some of your questions and then we'll say goodbye. It's not really going to get cool. It's the heat index, Estella, it's the heat index that's going to fall. We're talking 109, I think is a little extreme for the heat index today. I think it will be closer to about 106, and then it falls to about 93. So that's more than a 10-degree drop in terms of our feels like temperature, but notice the air temperature 95 to 92. Now the low temperature falling into the 60s will be really nice. You're going to notice a difference walking out the door really Thursday morning, especially Thursday afternoon. You'll notice a difference, but it's not going to feel cold or cool necessarily by any means because we'll have beautiful sunshine that heats conditions up really efficiently in drier air. So that is all I have, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. The timeline for storms is earliest is about 4 or 5 for B County. Latest is about midnight for Clayburgh, Kennedy County. Corpus Christi looking closer to 7, 8, latest 9. So that's all I have. Hopefully I answered everyone's questions and you got something out of this forecast. I've said goodbye like 5 times now, so we're gonna go ahead and officially say goodbye for 3 News, First Alert, your weather impact update. I'm Meteorologist Carly Smith. Thanks for watching.